How you guys doing? Welcome back to Tuna Tech. Today I'm going to explore further the company known as BBK Electronics. So what is BBK Electronics? It's I guess I would say a conglomerate of a bunch of companies that make phones. OnePlus, Vivo, Realme, Oppo, and if you've noticed, OnePlus, Oppo, Vivo, a lot of their phones are very similar, but they do have some unique caveats and differences. You saw my video in the Oppo X5 Pro, which is a BBK electronic. I have a OnePlus 10 Pro, which I haven't done a video on, but I may or may not. But today I'm super excited because this is the first product from this company, one of the BBK companies, that are known, at least in the last few years, for their amazing cameras. And this is the Vivo X80 Pro. Now, if you follow Vivo or any tech channel, there is a company, they had the X70 Pro last year in the Pro Plus. From what I've been researching and reading, this X80 Pro is the successor or the next iteration of the 70 Pro Plus. So I don't know if they're going to have a Plus this year or not. I don't know. They may or may not surprise us. If OnePlus is rumored to be releasing a Ultra, maybe all the BBK companies will be releasing their extra ultra to make a little extra money. But this is the X80 Pro Global Edition. As you can see from the box, it's very basic. It's just a black box. This is the 12 gig 256 version. It has been opened before. I didn't get a chance to play with it. Everything that comes in the box is the phone, the charger, the eject tool, the phone case, and protective film that's already applied on the screen. It's supposed to come with the XE710 Type-C earphones. I don't have those, so I'm not sure if they were removed, taken out, but either way, I don't care about those. I'm here for the phone. So this is the X80 Pro. And as you can see here, co-engineered with zeiss. So they do have, as Oppo and OnePlus do Hasselblad, Vivo goes with the zeiss. And I'm not sure what this is called per se, but Oppo has their separate silicon for AI enhancement and photography enhancement. The X80 Pro also has a secondary chip that's supposed to help with nighttime photography, AI computations, and so on and so forth. So I'm pretty stoked about this camera, and yes, I did say stoked. So we're gonna open this up. So you got the phone, which is to the side here, and you've got just some plain Vivo packaging. On the inside, you got your IMEI numbers on a sheet of paper. And in here, we have your USB charging cable. I'm trying to see if it's a USB-C or looks like it's a USB Type-C, but I don't know what. So it's a USB Type-A to Type-C. So that's nice. Didn't really want to get this out of the packaging, but they usually don't use the included chargers, but this one I believe is an 80-watt charger that's included. So there's the wire. And you can see on the packaging it says that it looks like your headphones are supposed to be in here too, and they are indeed missing. On the other side, we've got a monster. Holy cow, it's a monster of a charger. So this is, as you can see, it's a not a US plug. I do have adapters if I want to use this, but this is a Vivo flash charge. So looks like this can do, according to it's an 80-watt flash charge, and this can do 50-watt wireless. I'm going to assume to get that 50-watt wireless, you're going to have some kind of proprietary wireless charger, which I have yet to track down in the US for this or the Oppo. And then in here we have, which I'm going to assume is the case. So you got a nice faux leather black case, very minimal. You got top and bottom protection, and then nothing much on the sides. But still, you know, with most phone companies excluding chargers and cases and everything else, it's nice to see that at least there's a charger, cable, and a case. And then the rest of the stuff I'm going to assume is there's your SIM ejection tool, and then your warranty information, and so on and so forth. Living in the US, I'm going to assume, and I know what happens when you assume, that the warranty is probably not going to do much for me. It kind of surprised me that some of these companies like Vivo, Oppo, Realme aren't able to be purchased in the US since OnePlus is. I don't know what the process would be to do that, but it would be interesting to have a little more competition over here in the US. But either way, here's the phone. So, as you can see, a little dust on here. The screen protector is installed. I don't know if you can see that. You got your front hole punch camera. You got the screen that curves over the sides. This is a 6.7-inch WQHD plus resolution, so it's 3200 by 1440, and it's AMOLED, and it's got 120 hertz refresh rate. So that's nice, and it's covered with, I don't think it's Gorilla Glass, but it's covered with a temper scratch resistant glass. And on the back, or on the side here, we got nothing on one side. We got an IR blaster and a microphone. And that's another thing, these BBK, and not just BBK, but a lot of the Chinese phones have IR blasters, which is kind of a nice touch. Got your power and volume, no real separation, but it is nice and clicky. And on the bottom, you've got your SIM, USB Type-C, and speaker port. And that's about it. And then on the back, this is where it's interesting. So on the front, we'll go back to the front real quick. You got your selfie camera, which is a 32 megapixel f2.45 camera. On the rear, you got a 50 megapixel sensor, a 48 megapixel sensor, and a 12 and 8 megapixel sensor. So I believe the 12 megapixel might be a secondary camera, but you can see there's got a periscope zoom. And you got your 3 lenses here, you got your flash, and then you can see the zeiss T asterisk sign there. That's their coating for anti-glare, and so when you're taking pictures, it does better. So overall, again, this is the X80 Pro. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It's got 12 gig, 256 gigs of memory. It's got a 4,700 milliamp hour battery, which is smaller than most flagships at this price, and I want to say this is well over $1,000 new. If I can find a price overseas, I'll post it on the side here, one of the sides here. It's based on Android 12. It's called FunTouch OS. Does 80-watt flash charge, like we said, 50-watt wireless flash charge. We talked about the screen, and that's about it, you guys. What's interesting about this is that coming from the Oppo Find X5 Pro, the cameras were pretty phenomenal. I haven't had a whole lot of chance to mess with the cameras on the OnePlus 10 Pro yet, but I would say they're probably pretty close. I think your differentiating factor with most of these BBK phones are that they're kind of built similarly, but the processing is going to be different. So whereas Oppo and Vivo have went with a separate silicon to help process some of the pictures, I don't believe that OnePlus did. So it's more based on the OnePlus's Gen 1 processor that's in there. So if you guys want to know more about this phone right here, leave a comment below. But this is the Vivo X80 Pro, the global version. And just a caveat before we end the video is, when importing these phones, I know a lot of us out there like to try new phones and things that are different, at least I do. Make sure you are 100% sure to work on your provider. Verizon's, and it's one of the few that don't work on anything just because it's CDMA. T-Mobile and AT&T are your most common players, but I found out a few things. AT&T whitelists a bunch of phones, so if you get one of these foreign phones and put your SIM in, you might get they might shut your service off and tell you, hey, get another phone, or it'll give you warnings and mails like, hey, you can't use that phone in our service. T-Mobile has a better rep. I used Metro by T-Mobile, which is their MVNO that's owned by T-Mobile, and what I found out is you can switch phones, no problem, but if you don't go online and do it manually or have them do it, then when you take your SIM out and put it in another one, you get no service. And they will charge you 20 bucks to do it for you, or you can at least hang on to your old phone before you switch it, log into your account on Metro by T-Mobile, and do the transfer of IMEIs before you get rid of the old phone. So just a quick asterisk there, but hopefully between the AT&T Red Pocket, which is another MVNO that I use, and Metro, I can see, get some service in this and see how it works. But again, thanks for watching, and if you want more, leave a comment below. Peace.